It's time for my daily video, and so much has happened in the past month or so that the main thing I want to say is if you really want to keep up with me, you need to go to my blog at GABRIELLECHANA.BLOG because there I talk about everything. Um, I have made Andrew Torba of Gab the CEO of a Gabriel Chana credit union. And the reason I've done this is because Lori McBride is financially cutting off people that she deems as her enemies. And she's created a lying news media narrative to exclude people who are not in her club, which is actually a form of discrimination. So I created a Gabriel Chana credit union in order to make sure that people are not discriminated against unfairly. And for all the latest on everything related to me, including our breakthroughs in medical research, like Brent and I discovered that we both have an IQ over 9,000. Yeah. And we've been figuring out all sorts of things. And I've basically made him my co-president. And right now we are, anyways, for all the latest on my cabinet appointments, and I've kind of reshuffled people like Adolf Hitler. I've made him the prisons administrator, and I've created new positions. I went in there and tweaked the video a little bit. And so I didn't get beauty rest last night, and it's because we're dealing with something that Brent and I have recently discovered. We're doing medical research right now, and I am Lori McBride's guinea pig. Yes, she has apparently some genetically engineered, and I call them mites for want of a better term, and it's really complicated how she uses them. But I was getting mysterious itchy red spots and rashes on my skin, and they just seemed to come out of nowhere. And Lori McBride, not Lori McBride, Brent, she's got bad brain control on me too. Brent Spiner, being the UCLA medical school graduate that he is, was doing, and I'm wearing the jewelry that he got me. See, look at this. He got me the most awesome jewelry. This necklace is worth like $1,300. And Lori tried to stop it, and Jesus stopped her. But all I got to say is, if you really want to keep up with the latest in regard to me, you need to go to my website. Yes, my website, from what I understand, is the most important website in the entire world right now, even outdoing Google. That's what I'm hearing. Yes, of course, Lori McBride with her very advanced UFO technology, she is, BFF with Satan, so what can you expect? The UFOs are the fallen angels, is able to play around with the Google search engines and everything to make it really seem like it's not that important. But if you go to search engines like DuckDuckGo and stuff, those are a lot more accurate. So you might say, well, you had Zach in charge of Google, so what's going on there? Zach's in charge of Google, but Google, and he's also in charge of Microsoft and Apple, but those companies are so huge and they do so many things that I've had to create some new cabinet positions to deal with Lori McBride's matrix that she's got throughout the whole world. She's working side by side with Satan. All I can say is all the stuff that's going on in my life and the stuff that I'm dealing with as president is so complicated that I cannot cover it in a weekly video at YouTube anymore. And I am serious. If you really want to follow me, you need to go to my website. I have a blog and a podcast. Yes, I have my own podcast. And you say, you don't sound too good. Well, we're dealing with her genetically engineered mites right now. And everybody needs to do the Gail commandments, okay? Because from what I understand, the Lori McBride Jesuits are dropping like flies, and she's doing Custer's Last Stand. But Brent and I have been brainstorming these mysterious symptoms that I've been getting, like arrhythmias, and the mystery of the fact that I seem to be reacting to garlic and onions, even though when Brent does scans on my body, he says, you're not allergic to anything except a slight allergy to shellfish, Gail, and you don't have a problem with any food. So we don't understand why you feel like you need to be on the low FODMAP diet. He said maybe you just ate, you loved onions and garlic so much in the past that now your body's become very sensitive to them. And I thought that was an overly simplistic explanation for why my body was reacting to the garlic and onions. So I thought maybe I had Fabry disease. And Brad Spiner even believed it for a while. And I had made him the enzyme administrator because I thought everybody had it because of Lori's bombs. I thought she was inducing it artificially. And Brent said, nope, that's not going on. We've done scans on your body. You don't have mutations on your X chromosome like you would have in Fabry's disease. He said you don't have a deficiency in the alpha galactosidase enzyme anywhere in your blood. So I said, well, that's strange. So I wonder why I have all these, the typical symptoms of Fabry. So we've been brainstorming together the past couple of weeks to try to figure out what's going on with my body, why I was getting these mysterious rashes and itch spots that were even keeping me up at night. Finally, using my IQ over 9,000 and combined with the information that I got from Brent, I have concluded, I noticed looking at the bite marks on my skin that they look like mite bites. But I thought, and so I thought, is there something I'm picking up on my walks? And Brent said, nope. I said, is she putting an astringent in the air to dry my skin out? And Brent said, nope, we're not scanning that. I said, are you finding anything in my body? And he said, nope. I said, this is strange. So I thought, where are these? Finally, I just using my high IQ, I put two and two together. And this is the conclusion that I came to. She apparently has created a microscopic, I call it mite for want of a better term, and it apparently is able to evade our scanners. So I thought, how is she doing this? So I figured she's got a mite that has a dormant phase and an active phase. And as soon as Brent puts his scanners on my body to try to figure out what's going on, because she knows Brent uses these scanners, and she's very obsessed with me. So as soon as he puts these scans on my body, the culprit, whatever it is that's giving me these symptoms, I call it a mite, just vanishes. So I thought, how does Lori do this? It and all its toxins. It apparently has some nasty toxins because that's what's making me. She can induce coughing in me, just like. Anyways, here are the if you want to see the conclusions that I've come to regarding this genetically engineered mite, how it's able to make me cough. And no, that is not Lori McBride's virus. The virus that everybody's worried about, I call it Lori McBride's virus, okay? She is able to cause this mite, and I call it a mite, though I don't know if that's what it is, to land in the body on her signal. I think she uses radio signals. And as soon as Brent tries to scan for it, she can make it disappear if she wants. Now that we think we figured out what it is, she's not so concerned about making it disappear, and she's trying to have it wreak havoc in my body. But apparently, Brent has discerned a certain genetic code to the malignant form of the mite when it's active, but he's still trying to decipher the dormant form. You might say, how does she introduce it to the body? From the bombs and chemtrails that she's dropping over our heads. So the mite gets introduced to the body from the bombs and the chemtrails, and then and it's dormant until she activates it. And it embeds itself in human tissue all over the body, in the throat, in the heart, in the nervous system, in the skin, in the urinary tract, in the digestive tract. And she can, and I'm not going to limit it to one type of mite. It could be like different species, depending on which part of the body that are infected, but it has a dormant phase and an active phase. And she's able to activate it when she wants. In other words, she's the boss. She controls when the person starts exhibiting symptoms. And I think this is actually a sophisticated form of biological warfare. And she's able to, this is how she plans to destroy her enemies. Yeah. And then she can blame it on her virus. The virus that everybody's worried about, I'm going to call it Lori McBride's virus, okay? Because we don't have freedom of speech about her virus. Lori McBride has enforced censorship about her virus. So if you want to know the truth about her virus and all of her proposed mainstream news media solutions for the virus, you need to go to my website. So basically, I do need to make a weekly YouTube video. And if you want to know, we're doing research on the mite, on Lori McBride's virus, on all of the solutions for her virus, like the vaccines and all that. And to find out the conclusions that we have come to, you do need to go to my website, okay? Yeah, it's just too complicated to explain on a YouTube video. You need to go to my website. Yeah. I woke up early because she's waking me up with the mite. The mite does attack the nervous system. And basically, it appears this mite is responsible for some of the insomnia that I've experienced in the past year. Most of my gastrointestinal symptoms, a lot of the mysterious red spots and rashes I've had on my skin the past year, lots of the postnasal drip, the coughing that I've had in the past year. No, I do not have Lori McBride's virus. This coughing comes and goes. It's she can cause it to happen by telling the mites in my throat to act up. They apparently have a very nasty toxin that makes me cough. So yeah, I call them mites, though I don't know if we can really put them in any particular biological category. They are genetically engineered, and I think we're dealing with more than one type of mite. I just call them mites for want of a better term. So anyways, all I can say is my website, Zach Knight wanted me to have a different website than the one I have now. So he set it up for me. And then I'm going in there and fine-tuning it. So I'm transferring it from the old WordPress.com site to my current site. And I'm about 85% done. It's a big job because the website has about 2,500 posts and pages. And so I'm going in there and fine-tuning, and I've finished 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 2021. All those pages are done, and I'm about halfway through the 2020 pages, okay? And then I'm adding new pages every day because I have a podcast on there. And folks, if you really want to keep up with me, you need to go to my website, listen to my podcast. If you really, really want to keep up with me, be one of my Patreon supporters. And you could, like tonight, we're going to have a Friday night hangout, and we're going to discuss our latest discoveries and everything, like regarding the mite and all that. So, but all I can say is, and my cooking channel, whenever I make a new recipe, I post there. Or whenever I do my budget haul at Walmart. So yeah, but to really understand everything, Gail, and if you really want to keep up with me, in my personal opinion, the best place to go is my website. And I'm going to have a link to the website right above my face on this video, and that is the best place to go. Okay? There's a podcast there, and from what I understand, my website, I believe, has become the official website of the GABRIELLECHANA Fox News Channel. And that's because everything that revolves around me is a major news item. So, yeah, that's what I understand. And I have a podcast on my website, which I post almost every day. Um, and I have a blog there that I post almost every day. And the plus I'm revamping, I'm transferring the site from its old site to its present location. Like I said, I'm almost done. I've got to go in there and tweak the HTML and do all sorts of stuff to get the site, tweak these pages that we transferred from my old WordPress.com site to its present location to get it up to speed. And that is a major undertaking. It's like 2,500 pages, So basically, I am my own webmaster. And you say, how'd you learn how to do all this? The HTML and all that. I have an IQ over 9,000. That's how I learned how to do it. Yeah. So I go in there and I mess with the HTML and I fix up the pages. Yeah. But the way that Zach has my website set up, I can upload short videos. I can do my own podcast there. I figured out at my old website, I was able to do playlists, but I just use Audacity and make my own playlist. I just upload an audio file. So I can do that too. So yeah, it's all at my website. And I talk about stuff at that website that I cannot talk about here at YouTube. Okay. So if you want to get the real news, go to my website. And if you want to find out the latest research on this mite, I'm assuming I'm the only guinea pig, but like I'm itching right now. It's like these mysterious itch spots just come and go on my body. And yeah, we figured out it's a genetically engineered mite. And Lori can control when it acts up in your body and where it acts up. And she can give you irritable bowel, gassiness, insomnia, headaches, coughing, all sorts of stuff, arrhythmias. And so if you're experiencing those symptoms, you may want to contact my men at Gailsmen, GAILSMEN at yahoo.com, especially if the doctors can't figure out what's going on. You might have the mite. You would say, well, what do we do if we have the mite? If you have the mite, we are working on a solution, okay? Apparently, Brent can scan your body and remove the malignant form of the mite, but the dormant form, if it's still in your body, Lori McBride can still cause a little bit of symptoms, like I'm still dealing with it. So we're working on figuring out some way to identify the dormant form so we can remove it from people's bodies, and like my body, and maybe even start removing it from the bomb clouds that she's dropping. It's not a DNA signature. Lori's IQ is about 300. Satan's IQ is 450. Now, you can learn all this stuff if you listen to my podcast and follow me at my website. We talk about all this stuff. So you guys need to follow me there, okay? This YouTube channel, I just kind of like give you a very gross summary of the main events in my life. But if you want to follow me in detail and keep up with the latest, including stuff that I cannot talk about here at YouTube, you need to go to my website. Like I said, it is now the most important website in the world. From what I understand, I'm getting more traffic than Google itself. So, yeah, that's what I'm hearing brain to brain. So, go to my website for the latest. And, yeah, like the discovery of this mite, I believe, is a major breakthrough. And I also found the cure to Fabry's disease by trying to figure out what was going on with me. Yeah, we've cured Fabry's disease. Yeah. Anyways, if you listen to my podcast, you'll get all this. You'll get the latest news. And the stuff I'm doing as president, our latest medical research. Yeah, they gave me a Nobel Prize for that. Well, I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I ended up finding the cure to Fabry disease. Yeah. So go to my website. That's all I can say. Everything about me is there. We are right now trying to solve the mystery of the mite. How it operates, how to stop it, because I'm still dealing with it. Like my arms were itching, and like the itch spots move throughout my body depending on where Lori McBride. And everybody needs to do the Gail commandments.